Hi! Welcome and good morning everyone. This is Lucy and we are live for you from China Media Group. Today we're so happy to take you through an amazing museum, the first national level museum of agriculture named the China Agriculture Museum. And I am in front of exhibition hall number 2 where we can see a history of China's farming and the advances. But before we start, I would like to do a sound check. First of all, please let me know if you can hear me. Please let me know if you can see me. And let me just say hi to a few people who are still here. Hi to you, Jessie. Hi to you, Kenny. Great to see everyone who's here. Again, my name is Lucy and today we are going to talk to you all about the history of China's agriculture. First of all, I have a question for you. Do you have an agriculture museum where you live or in your country? Because I have been to many countries in the world, but it's the first time I know there's a museum devoted to agriculture. I've been to a lot of art galleries or history museum. First time I have been to an agriculture museum. Really excited. And before I go into exhibition hall number 2 to see many amazing artifacts, I have a poem to recite. This is a poem from an ancient poet in China named Li Bai, and the poem goes like this. The farmer works very hard in his field. Big drops of sweat comes out from him and drops into the field. Who knows all of the little tiny rice and grain come from all of the farmers' hard work. So this is a poem from thousands of years ago in China, meaning that back then in China people already know how hard the farmers work every day to produce food for us, to produce cotton, so that comes to what we wear. Agriculture has always been very important in China. And in the past few days, my colleagues have already taken you to rice fields or farmers or shared farms in the suburbs of Beijing, and today I'm going to take you into a museum to go back in history till now to go through the long history of China's agriculture, which date back 8,000 to 9,000 years. So without further ado, let's come in. And let me see some more comments. Hi, Eric is here. Amazing to see you, Eric. Do you like agriculture? And how important do you think agriculture is in your life? Let me know in the comment section. We have Cape said, I can see and hear you. Thank you so much. Travis is here and Emma is here. Amazing to see everyone. It says Pooh here. So come in please, everyone. Come with me, and this is the amazing Agriculture Museum, exhibition hall number 2, and I can see Steve is here saying hi as well. And hi! Hello, 你好. Hello, so nice to see you. And guys, I can see a friend right here. Her name is Yiming, and she has a very interesting English name because her full name is 你的中文名朱一鸣. Her full name is 朱一鸣, and when you say it very quickly, it becomes 朱一鸣, and it becomes similar to dreaming. So she has a very interesting English name, Dreaming, and you can say hi in the comment section. Say hi, Dreaming, or happy dreaming, and we will bring you some very nice content just like dreaming. And let's come in to talk about what the statues behind us is about. So, Zhu Yiming, I have a question for you. What is all these statues meaning?
Let's see. These 5 ones, they are legends and ancestors of Chinese
5.
people. It was said that these 5 persons that made great contributions to agricultural development in China.
So you said, Dreaming said there are 5 people, 5 mythical figures back in Chinese history that had important contribution to the Chinese farming. Let me guess, the first one looks like he's holding sort of like what is he holding?
Actually it's a fishing net.
Oh, a fishing net.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
This man's name is Fu Xi.
Fu Xi?
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys remember Fu Xi, F-U-X-I. Fu Xi is this guy's name, and he is sort of like the god of fishing. 是教我们怎么样打网的一个人。
Yeah, he invented the fishing net and taught people to raise animals.
Wow, so he invented fishing, amazing. And so if we go from left to right, the second one, the very tall person.
His name is Shen Nong.
Shen Nong. Oh, I think I've heard of him. Shen Nong. If you guys have heard of him, let me know in the comment section. And thank you so much for tuning in. We are from China Media Group. Today we're talking about China Agriculture Museum. So tell me please, Dreaming, who is he and what does he do?
He cultivated all kinds of strains and taught people to do the farm work.
Wow. So he's also like a teacher who teaches people how to do farm work back in the days. Amazing. Thank you. And who should we talk about next? The man in the middle. He looks like an emperor because of his hat. And what does he teach?
Actually, he creates the characters and establishes the legislation.
Wow. So in farming, it's not only important to know how to grow plants or grow grain or fish, it's also very important to have a good legislation so that we can regulate farming. That is what I think his name is Huangdi, is it?
Yeah, Huangdi.
That's what Huangdi was doing. And this lovely lady, the only lady figure in the statue.
She's the wife of Huangdi.
Ah, she's the wife of Huangdi, and I can see that she's holding like a fruit plate. But is it a fruit plate?
No, it's not. It's some silkworms.
Silkworms, wow. So yes, I can see all of these are cocoons. So could I guess that she taught people how to weave?
Yes, actually.
Wow, amazing. So I want to thank her for the clothes that I'm wearing today. Because if you didn't teach people how to weave, I wouldn't be wearing nice clothes. Amazing. So what do you guys think about these 5? Oh, sorry, I forgot one person. Sorry, brother. What does he do?
His name is Da Yu.
And, yes.
He led people to struggle against the flood and won the battle.
Wow, amazing. So yes, I think every other child who grew up in China or went to school in China would have heard of the story of Da Yu, who went to fight against the huge flood back in the days and coming past his home but didn't go in for several times. Very devoted man. So all of these 5 mythical figures who actually happened in history, and we were talking about the history of Chinese agriculture. Wouldn't be nice to start from all these 5 statues. And let me just quickly check your comments. We have so much interesting content for you today. Don't go away and stay tuned for more of the interesting artifacts from Dreaming. We have Jimmy said, hello Lucy, thank you so much. Remember to say hello to Dreaming as well. We have William from Massachusetts, USA. Thank you so much. We are right now in Beijing, China. It is a Thursday morning in China. Let me know where are you from, which part of the world you are from, where are you watching, and let me know how is the weather in your area, because weather is very important for agriculture. And William is from Massachusetts. You can let us know if farming is a big industry over there where you live. And we have Trevor said, hi, nice to meet you. Thank you so much, Trevor, for saying hi to our lovely guide, Dreaming. We have Sean, who's here. Amazing to see you. And we have Juan said, hola, back to you as well. So right now in here, I can see it's sort of like a wax museum, 蜡像馆, sort of like a wax museum, really interesting. So many real life figures, and I can't wait to find out what they all represent. Dreaming, these people, they look like the people from very old, thousands of years back. What are they doing over here? What is this trying to show? Please let me know.
They are primitive people in the Neolithic age.
And Neolithic age.
Yeah, this thing recreates the relics of 河姆渡 relics and about 7,000 years ago.
7,000 years ago. So this will be the very start of farming in China. And I think this really tells a good story. I don't know if the camera can pick up. This looks like the father of the family, and he's holding like a deer. And the mother is teaching the 2 child how to weave something, or
I think she is doing the weaving.
Oh, she is doing the weaving for the child. The children are too young to learn. Yes, I'm pushing them too hard. So I can see like a lovely story. The father is holding the capture of the day and said, hi kids, hi wife, look, we have meat for tonight. Sort of like that. Oh, it's so really interesting.
Life is not very easy.
Yeah, life is not very easy, but with the whole family stick together, always very happy. And I think from this, my takeaway would be, even though back 7,000 years ago, agriculture has already started in some parts of China, and people already started to do some hunting or weaving. But back then, I don't think they keep animals, not yet. 他们还没有养动物，对吧？
In this part, not really.
In this part, no. That's okay. So let's keep going, and let me quickly check.
Do you want to see these seeds? Also found in the relics?
Hello, please let me know if you can hear me in the comment section and reply in the comment box. We have again, very happy to see you, and also we have Maxwell saying hi to everyone. Thank you so much, and we have William here as well. So Dreaming was telling me that she wants to show me some seeds from 7,000 years ago. So let's follow her and have a look. Seeds from, wow, look at this. They look like sesame, look like zhima. Let's go in and have a quick, let's have a closer look.
Yeah, these
Please
are some cultivated rice seeds, and when they were found in the relics, the color was golden. But because of the oxidation, they turned black little by little.
Oh, wow. So those seeds were discovered, and they are from 7,000 years back.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So it's so very interesting to see that these seeds are from the ancient times, and they're rice seeds, and we still eat rice up till this day. Let me know in the comment section if you love eating rice and how you usually cook it. And today we are going through history to talk about the development of the Chinese agriculture, and which brings me to this sort of nicely created thing right here. Dreaming, what are these two people doing? They look like a couple, and they look like they're picking up some fruits.
Yeah, they're
what is
picking
this
up some
telling us?
This relic reflects the Banpo relics of Shanxi province.
Oh, Shanxi province.
About 6,000 years ago.
6,000 years ago.
And
wow.
they are Banpo people.
Wow.
They can grow grains by polished stone tools. They hunted and fished by bone arrowhead.
Wow, looks good. Because if you can see, this guy is holding a spear, and on the pointy head, looks like he's already learned how to sharpen his tools to make sure that he can catch more things. So let's keep going, because we have so many interesting content to show you. And I think, wow, I can see right there, 3 people working together, sort of like going in the same direction. What do you think they're doing right there?
They're doing farm work with the simplest plow. These are the oldest plow people invented.
So they would be plowing the land. And why are they going 3 in a row, 3 people together?
It's a teamwork.
Oh, amazing. So looks like before people invented machines to do farm work, in China people already started to do a lot of nice teamwork, just like me and Dreaming today, doing a teamwork to tell you about the interesting content in this huge museum. And I was going to tell you, before I forget, that this agriculture museum actually opened for public in 1986, and it is the national level museum of agriculture in China. So if you want to learn anything about Chinese agriculture, come to this museum. And we have something in this.
Is there some artwork and made of bronze or iron? These are some iron artwork.
Oh, wow. So these are some iron harrow or some plowshare. Very cool. And wow, so let's go this way, and I can see, wow, some kettles right here. But oh, so maybe during this time people already started to keep farm animals. But let me know, Dreaming, which year was this, or how many years ago was this from?
It's in the Han Dynasty. About 2,000 years ago, people started to use cattle in the farm work.
Wow. So 2,000 years ago in China, people already learned how to use cattle in farm work. And let me know if you've been to a farm in your country or around the world, do people use cattle? Have you seen cattle being used, or have you actually used cattle in farm work yourself? Let us know. And something interesting, so this guy looks like his job is the leader. He's sort of holding the cattle by their noses and he's leading them.
Yeah, direction.
So, direction. So this guy is the director. And the guy in the middle, if you look very closely, it looks like he's sort of sitting on the plow. What does he do?
He controls the depth of the plow into the soil.
Wow. So 他是不是坐得越深，那个就越深？ Is he sitting?
对对对。
Oh, wow. And this guy, Jeremy was telling me that he sits on the plow, and the more he sits, the deeper the plow will go into the field. So he controls the depth, direction, depth. And this guy at the back, what does he do?
He holds, just holding back.
Just holds it. That's very interesting, because back then we saw 3 people, and it's still 3 people here, but they have very different functions now and very and more advanced than before. And this guy is just looking, or
no, he is a government official in agriculture named Zhao Guo, and he is teaching these people to do the advanced farm work he found.
Oh, so he discovered this?
Yes.
Wow. So this government official, he is the inventor of the function of how to use cattle to plow the land, which brings me to another point, that is, over 1,000 years back in China, the government has always placed high priority in agriculture advances. So back in the years, you can see this government official wearing the long robes. He's teaching people how to farm using the new farm tools. But right now, during the 2 sessions which opened last week in China, the agriculture discussion is still very hot, and people are saying that we will want to place agriculture still on the top priority, and also to help rural areas to become better off. So now I can see a very interesting tool. I want the camera to have a look at this, and I was wondering if you guys can guess what this is. From the plate, it says it's an animal drone seed sowing plow. Dreaming, I'm sure you have more to tell us about.
It's actually the earliest planter.
The earliest.
And invented by Zhao Guo.
Oh, so invented in China. Amazing. Yes. And let me just guess, the seed will go here?
Yes, there are 3 hollow pipes connected to this box.
Wow.
And when we do farm work, we put seeds into the box and we push it. Then it can do digging, and meanwhile the seeds can go down along the pipe.
Wow.
And at last spray to the ground.
So it's like
The earliest planter in the world, at least in China.
At least in China. Wow, that's so lucky for me to see the earliest type of plant in China. And it goes, the seed goes here, and then the 3 hollow pipes. It's the actual principle is very similar to the machine that we use today. And it's invented 2,000 years ago. Just quickly check your comments. We have Eric saying, thank you so much for the information. As always, you are most welcome. That is what we're here to do. And we have Gregory said, I eat a lot of rice. Wow, welcome, a rice lover here. And he said, I eat it in different ways, sometimes with beans, eggs, or soy sauce. Amazing. We love any gastronomy in our channel. And talking about eating, I can see so many different figurines right here. Some looks like they're eating, but not always. For example, this big one, Dreaming, you had a story to tell me about him or her.
Yes, this is a tomb figurine.
A tomb figurine, so it's placed in a tomb.
Yeah, unearthed from Sichuan province in the Han Dynasty 2,000 years ago.
Ooh.
And you know, you can see that he is holding 2 farming tools in his hands, and around his waist there is a sword. And so it tells us that he is a farmer and a soldier at the same time.
Oh, so he's a farmer and a soldier. Is this very common back then, that someone can be a farmer and a soldier at the same time?
Yes, if at that time, if farming is very busy, he can cultivate, and if wars broke out, he can fight.
Wow. So a very multitasking person. Usually in time of peace, he will just do the farming and feed his family. But when war breaks out, which happens quite often back then, he just goes to fight. And I can see all of the details are so vivid. And you were saying that it's from 2,000 years ago. Very.
It's also one of the most treasures in our museum.
Oh, amazing. Good to see. And we have Betty here. Amazing. Hi, Paul. Amazing to see you. And Betty is saying those 3D models are these 3D models and paintings behind you? No. These are actually unearthed actual artifacts, relics unearthed from tombs 2,000 years ago. So very true figures right here. And from talking about tomb,
yeah,
and I can see, is this also unearthed from a tomb before?
Yes, this is a pottery toilet.
When Dreamy was telling me about it, it's really interesting. It's a toilet, and I can see that it's sort of like
the separate
male and female are already in separate places. So on the top is the toilet, and the shape of the roof is also very interesting for me to see. So I think the camera can go through all of this unearthed from the tomb, and all related to agriculture. And let's just quickly go to see that Glenn is here watching us. Thank you so much, Glenn. And today, the reason we're coming to the China Agriculture Museum is we really want to give you a good storyline to go through the 8,000 to 9,000 years of development of Chinese agriculture and see how we come from a nation of good agricultural resources and a lot of farmland to now a very advanced agriculture nation. China already ranks the world's first in production of cereal, rice, and fish and cotton. How did we do this, and how did China feed 21%, 1.4 million people, 21% of the world's population with less than 10% of the world's arable land? An amazing achievement in itself. How did we do this? The Agriculture Museum can have part of the answer. So right now, over here behind me, I can see a pear tree.
Yes, it's a pear tree.
What is this guy doing?
He's doing the research about pear tree grafting.
Oh, so back then, how many years ago was this?
1,400 years ago in the Beijing dynasty.
Wow, so back then the grafting technique has already been discovered by this guy, and
Jia
Sixie, his name is Jia Sixie, and he is sort of researching on how to graft a pear tree, and you can see a pear falling on the
it's not real.
Not real. Otherwise wouldn't be here. So really interesting, and it gave me a lot of reflections because we started from, we were saying 河姆渡 or 半坡, all of the primeval areas, and in Neolithic age, how all these people are just wearing not very fancy clothes, and they were just doing some weaving and hunting to feed their belly, and afterwards we had people developing or inventing tools to farm, and then they brought in cattle to help them, and then they had more scientific ways of grafting trees to make the fruit more juicy and edible and more yummy. So which is all very good, and we went through 5,000 years of development already, and I can see some interesting tools right here. Dreamy, did you want to tell me more about this?
These three ones, they are recorded in the book named 齐民要术, written by that man, Jia Sixie.
Wow.
And it reflects a dry land farming system.
A dry land farming system.
And these are three tools used in the system in farming. And this one is li, ba, mo. And people use li for digging.
So this is the plow for digging.
Yeah,
and this is the
harrow for mash the soil. Mashing the soil.
Mashing it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And at last, mo, We use it for making soil flat.
Oh, making them flat, amazing. And when I came to the museum to have some research myself, Dreaming was telling me that all of these tools are not particularly made for the museum. They were actually just collected from actually average farming houses. So people were really using these tools to do their farming, and they were now collected in the museum. Really good to know. So you can imagine farmers' hands actually touched all of this, and they used it for years. So just take a quick break and see your comments. And Glenn was saying that I love learning about other cultures. It enriches us in so many ways. Thank you so much, Glenn. And this is exactly what we're doing here today. We want to learn about the culture of China's agriculture and the civilization, and also passing what we've learned to you today. And speaking of which, I can see this
Fruits and vegetables.
fruit and vegetable box. And why do we have, like, we have cucumber, we have grapes, we have green onion, we have tomato, everything that I love to eat every day. But why do we have this here, Dreaming?
Because these showcases show these fruits or vegetables are introduced from foreign countries.
Really? Wow. So Dreaming was saying that all of these fruits and vegetables that we eat every day are not originally from China. They were imported from other countries. Wow.
No, not imported.
But introduced.
Yeah. At that time, we did not pay money to.
Oh yes, you are right. Thank you so much for correcting me. So wow, that's so good to know, because especially potatoes. I love eating potatoes. We eat them every day, and it's so good.
Fried potatoes.
Yeah, fried potatoes, sliced potatoes. Oh, my mouth is watering already. So it's so good. And also the China's national dish is like a Korean way to say it. Scrambled eggs and tomato. I've even introduced it to a lot of my foreign friends how to cook it. So it's amazing to know that back then, how many years ago would this be? Several hundred years ago, or?
Ming and Qing dynasty.
Ming and Qing dynasty. Cool. So it's so good to see that in agriculture there are a lot of exchange between countries, just like how we do a lot of people-to-people exchange today. All very important for the prosperity of our lives. And coming from here, I can see this is another, I guess, cattle, but this actually has different horns to the ones that we saw before. Is this water buffalo, or can you tell me about this?
This thing reflects the southern part China, and
no
the
wonder.
southern people are doing farm work,
Right.
and you can see these are rice fields.
Why do people come to the southern part of China to do farming?
About in the Tang and Song dynasty, about 1,400 years ago, North China occurred wars frequently, and South China were relatively peaceful. So large amounts of people moved from the south to from the north to the south.
Wow.
And then settled down, and then rice quickly became the second largest food staple in China besides wheat.
Oh, wow. So before, in the northern part of China, people mostly eat wheat. And now in the Tang dynasty, rice become the second most
largest
food staple. Amazing to know. And if you can see the background on the photo on the wall, there were actually rice paddies. And if you remember our live stream in the past, we have been to many rice paddies to grab rice or catch fish, many things that we do here. And is this a tea garden?
Yes, it's a tea.
Or maybe
people
a tea
are
house.
drinking tea. Yeah,
people are
tea house.
drinking tea. Amazing to know.
Tea at that time quickly become our national drink.
Oh, so back then, thousands of years ago, tea already become a national drink. Thank you. That's so good to know. We have Emma said the indigenous people from Peru invented potatoes. Wow, that is so good to know, Emma.
Peru.
Wow. And we have Jessie was saying ni hao, and Kenny had a question. How far back does the equipment go? So I think Kenny was talking about those three equipment that we talked about before. How long of history do you think they have? Thousands of years or hundreds?
1,000 years.
1,000 years. So Kenny, 1,000 years. And interesting.
Yeah. Can you guess what it is used for?
Dreaming and I, we wanted to challenge you guys watching from home. do you know what this is? The sort of round object and all of these
Grass.
all of this grass. Can anyone tell us in the comment section what do you think they are and what do you think their function is in the comment section, and we can't wait to see your answer. And while you are busy concentrating doing this, we might look at some other things in this exhibition box. We have, this is the farming tool to
Protecting tool to protect the face.
Oh, to like a face mask.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. And which gives me the segue. We both are not wearing face masks today because in Beijing we have a really good control measure, and it's very safe right here. That's why we didn't wear masks today inside the museum, to give you a better sort of explanation so you can see our face expressions. And this is a farm tool for protecting the arms. Wow. So I can see this is all about protection. And Dreaming, do you have any clues to give our audiences of when they were guessing what these are?
It's clothes made of grass.
Oh.
And,
it's made of grass. And when do people usually wear this?
In that. 太明显了.
Oh, okay. So Dreaming was saying that we can't tell people when when people would wear this. Otherwise, it's so easy for you to guess.
In a not very good weather day.
Okay. Good. Thank you for helping the audience without telling them too much. So let me just see quickly. Dennis was saying the shade hat and a cloak. And Sean was spelling to us in pinyin to say 帽子. And Eric was saying that this is the first frisbee. Thank you, sir. It's good humor. So Dreaming, now we can reveal the answer. What are these actually? What are these objects actually are?
These are a suit of raincoat.
Oh, raincoat! Yay!
And
so,
that time we did not have plastics.
That's right. And still, it's so would say organic and very good for the environment, not plastic. And the hat is not a frisbee, but a hat, like a rain hat, for farmers when they were doing farm work during raining times. And the grassy things are actually not a big shining coat or a fashion statement. it's a raincoat back in the days. Very good to see. And if you go to the southern part of China, you might still see photos back in the days of people wearing this. In Mandarin, the hat in Chinese, what's it called? In Mandarin, 中文怎么说那个？
草帽。
草帽。And the coat in Mandarin is
蓑衣。
蓑衣。
应该是蓑衣和斗笠。
斗笠，蓑衣，斗笠。Very good names in Mandarin as well. So let's go into the other areas because we have so much to see. A raincoat and a hat, said Gregory. Yes, are you surprised? The earliest raincoats and the earliest hat. And Sean was saying 谢谢. 不用谢, you are most welcome. And thank you so much for communicating us with pinyin as well. Any languages, or not any language, English, pinyin or Mandarin, a little bit of Spanish maybe. And I can see a lot of books written in Mandarin for any of your Mandarin learning lovers. Can you tell us, Dreaming, about all of these and the scene behind?
These are some, these books are about silkworm feeding.
Oh, I can tell because the photo or the hand-drawn sketch
yes,
is
these
all
people
about
are feeding silkworms.
Oh, so that must be outside. There's a big statue, and this is the wife of Huangdi. What was her name again?
雷祖.
Lei Zu. So she was the teacher of the ancient
China people.
Weaving, and this is about weaving as well. So people were good students to her.
To making silk clothes.
Making silk clothes.
China is a silk country.
Yes, that's right. Wow, silk clothes. And if you guys know, we've traveled through the Silk Road, which is an ancient trade road in China with all the other countries, and along the Silk Road, and the silk started from here as well. And these people are talking about silk or something else.
This man is Xu Guangqi. He is also a government official. He is introducing new variety of crops to farmers.
Ooh, so he's telling farmers some new type
of... these crops grow very well. You should plant it.
So he reminds me of nowadays we have the concept of first secretary or 第一书记 because China has placed huge effort in poverty alleviation, helping people in rural areas lifting out of poverty. Actually, since 2020, China has already lifted absolute people from rural areas from absolute poverty by the hard work of a lot of very hard-working local officials. And this official really reminded me of the current hard-working government officials, local secretaries that we have today. That they always tell people this is something good you should do, and you should send your children to school, or we should pave this road to make the road better for you to go to work. Amazing. And as we work backwards, let me quickly see. Glenn Cartwright is saying that I do enjoy museums. Thank you so much, sir. And this is my first time in an agriculture-themed museum. Everything about agriculture. And this museum opened in 1986 to the public. There are a lot of different exhibition halls. This one is about the history, and we have another one about soil, another one about tools. And Dreaming has, how many years have you worked in the museum? 7 years. She's worked here for 7 years, so you're in very good hands. Any questions about agriculture in China or about this museum, you can ask Dreaming, and by typing her very interesting English name, Dreaming. I wish I could have an English name like this. Oh, this is a agriculture tool, and tell us about this, Dreaming. What are they and what do they do?
These are plows we collected from north part of China.
Northern part of China,
yeah.
Yes. Oh, wow. And so this part is the part that you hold with your hands?
Yes.
Ooh, especially this one. I can see that this one has been used for many times because you can already see it's shining, means that people might have grabbed it on the hand for a very long time.
These are some blades.
Some blades. And the blades are all very sharp on the pointing head.
Yeah, the earliest blade is not made of iron. The earliest may be made of stone, wood, or and then bronze, at last iron.
Oh, so bronze. Yes, of course, because in the Neolithic age or the Shang dynasty in China, some of you might have been with us to the Sanxingdui Museum. You might remember the Bronze Age was quite big in that area, and people were doing a lot of things with bronze. And this is the iron head, the more current one. And I can see that all of these heads or blades, they're pointing down. They're pointing downside. Very interesting. I remember that because there's a question for you there again. So this is pointing down. This is also pointing down. But if we go over to this side, you might see something quite different.
Yeah.
We have Steve said, interesting, Lucy. Thank you so much. Yes, I am intrigued. Oh, you can see all of these heads were pointing sort of curling up. This is curling up. This one is as well, and they're all made of iron. Is that right?
Yes, iron. Yeah.
And it is pointing sort of curling up as well. So I think Dreaming, of course, she knows the answer. But we both have a question for you. Why on this side of the museum, all of the plow, the head is pointing downwards, but all of here is pointing up? So please let me know in the comment section, why are these two sets of farm tools, the plow, the heads are pointing in different directions? And when we are waiting for your answer, we are going to check your previous comments. And Eric is saying that I totally agree. We are a comparatively young country here in the US, and we can learn so much from other countries with their rich and ancient countries. Thank you so much for being so open-minded and love to learn. And Dreaming here with her excellent English, she has received a lot of guests in this museum from overseas. Dreaming, can you tell me in how many different countries of guests have you met before? Can you list some countries of guests that you accompanied? 就是您和其他哪些国家的客人接待过哪些其他国家的客人？
好多了。
你可以说说。
So many.
So many.
格鲁吉亚。 法国、英国、欧洲的、非洲的比较多一些。
Most from African countries and also in Europe. Amazing to know. And any from the US or UK, 美国、英国、Australia.
也有，但是不是特别多。
Not many. So you guys next time, you know who to ask for a good tour in English of the Agriculture Museum. Yay, Vincent. Vincent, I have to say that not only do I want to thank you for your good answer, your profile photo with the hat looks like the farmer's hat in China as well. So Vincent is saying, are these different pointing heads for plow and to till? And Paul is asking, is Dreaming an anthropologist or a museum staff? So Dreaming is actually the manager of the learning and teaching section of this museum, and she very often receives people from overseas or outside of the museum and telling them all about the Chinese agriculture. We're very lucky to have her today. So it's time for our big reveal of the answer. Why are these two heads pointing differently?
Because they are collected from different parts of China. The left side ones are collected from North China, and the right ones are collected from South China.
So why would in the north the head will be pointing down and in the south it will be going up?
Because of the difference of soil condition.
The difference of soil conditions. Amazing. And
其实下一个也能说到那个。也能说到这个问题区别，南北方的区别。
That's very interesting to know. And also, we can see all of these stilts looking in the different shapes as well, and also from different locations too. Because of time, let's quickly move on to the next section. I think there's something, because all of this museum, we have many artifacts which is very hard for us to touch. For example, we have the grinder, the ancient Chinese grinder right here. If you love drinking coffee, remember when in China the millstone was the first type of grinder that is being used, invented by the ancient craftsman named Lu Ban. And I was saying that a lot of these museum exhibits, we can't actually touch them. However, over here, we have prepared something that we can actually engage and interact. And this is a wow, and amazing, they've already taken out the barrier outside. So Dreaming, please show me how you play with this.
Let's show this one.
I'll show this one first. Okay, I'll stand on this side.
This is a food processing
This is really cool, guys. Wait
tool,
for it.
Powered by water.
Instead
of human power.
Right.
And we put half of it into the water, and then we open it.
Watch out.
Sorry. We opened this gate, and then water came in, turned the big wheel, and then the big wheel can drive these 9 millstones to work.
So one water wheel can drive 9 mills. That's so good. And you can see, comparing to what we saw, the hunting, and now it's very advanced compared to the relics we saw 8,000 years ago. And do we show this, or do we look at this one first?
These are some water hammer. We use it to husk rice.
Water hammer. I want to try this one myself. So this one, I think.
Yes.
So water will drive the water wheel. And water is much better than me. Wow, and then the millstone will be grinding the grain or the rice. And here, Dreaming, you can have a go.
These are large water hammer.
Wow!
We use it to husk rice.
I want to try. I want to try.
Rice bowl, dumpling.
It's very interesting because when you were pushing this, the 4 sort of drums, they actually go in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
It's a very good design. I love it. So guys, we're having so much fun here, and there's something more interesting that I wanted to show you. I have friends in Sichuan. province, which is the home of panda in southwestern China. And my friends in Sichuan were telling me that they are now learning from the China Agriculture Museum. They are now trying to build a huge agriculture complex also in that part of China to show people how many different things and achievements of agriculture there is in the Yangtze River area. So I want to now invite my friend from Sichuan to bring us a short clip showing you guys, of course, how the construction of the agriculture park is going in that area. So Sichuan, what have you got? Let's have a look.
Hi everyone, I am panda reporter Jiang Nan.
I'm panda reporter Ju Jiawen.
And today we are at the China Tianfu Agricultural Expo.
And here we're going to explore the venue, which is also the permanent venue of the China Agricultural Expo.
Okay, let's go.
Nice to meet you. So welcome to our site. So this exciting project, after like 6 months, it's going to be totally built. So it's a very sustainable design. The whole concept is not to destroy the farm. The whole concept is like this agriculture expo going to be sitting on the ground in the farm, becoming a part of the whole environmental stuff, something like
Harmony.
that. Yeah.
Mr. Han said by finishing this project, we hope to attract more people from all over the world to enjoy, to experience agriculture and the fun from it. Tianfu Agricultural Expo is the permanent venue of Sichuan Agricultural Expo, and also the planned area is 129 square kilometers, and it is one of the 66 functional areas of industry in Chengdu. And also the final picture of the whole project is going to show the rural revitalization and also the rural life in Chengdu.
So I see there's lettuce growing here. What is it for?
These lettuce could be grown without soil, and you can even control the temperature and the climate here.
And the nutrition.
Yes.
So you can actually grow anything.
Yeah. So interesting that the fish does not need to be intentionally fed.
Oh, so it gets the nutrition from the plants.
Yes,
plants
and
get the nutrition.
yeah,
from the
vice
food.
versa.
Very nice. So after a 5-minute walk and across the street, we run into what is this?
I think it looks like a park.
Why don't we ask the experts?
Cool, let's go. Here we have actually 6 types of homestays, and the visitors here, you can come here to pick the vegetables here, and also a part of the vegetables would be supplied to the restaurant here. And that house with that greenhouse is for
more tropical plants.
Yeah, tropical plants. Great. After our tour today, I really feel like we were walking in pictures, right? And actually the tourists, they could bring their families here to enjoy the scenery as well as the harmony with nature here, right?
So we'll be waiting for you here in Xinjing, Chengdu at the Tianfu Agricultural Expo.
Thank you so much, Dreaming, for all of the very good information and very interesting information you were telling us. And I was so interested and intrigued by the northern and southern differences. But now we have now gone into exhibition hall number 4, and I am standing in front of this huge sort of iron machinery, and very different from the wooden ones or heads that we saw in hall number 2. So I'm guessing this exhibition hall, maybe we're talking about the modern age or the industrial age of China's agriculture, but I can see something that tells me this machine might not be from China. I want to ask Remy, tell us about this machine. Is it from China? Why or why not?
It's not it's a China machine. It's free from Japan, and we can see the
Wow.
It's a kneading implement for tea, and at that time, China tea was people. Most of them are handmade and market. So to this machine to solve the problem.
So back then in China, before the industrial age, are very good, but it's always sort of like a workshop and by workshop. However, this machine is allowing us to have a huge manufacture by steaming the tea and making more products to sell to all the other companies. And I can, looks like a boat, but then with like a rocket on it. This pardon me, because I really pumping and also amazing. So after China has learned a lot of skills and how to make machines to can independently make something of their own. So was great. Jerry also said that these are very advanced technology. Thank you so much, and very cool. And that's a very I was also very amazed when I was researching on the museum to come from the primeval age, the Neolithic age. I think in this area we were wanting to tell China. So first of all, we're talking about this one, right?
In 1950, the land law was reassured.
So let's come here.
In 1950, the land law was reassured, and you know that People's Republic of China was established in 1949. And before the land law was issued, the lands belonged to landlords, and the farmers worked very hard for them to earn meager income to live on. But after it, the liberated farmers had their own land.
Oh, I understand. So the People's Republic of China established in 1949, and 1 year after the founding of the People's Republic, the government has reformed land reform. And back in the days, for thousands of years in China, even though the farm plots their land, but they don't own the land. The landlord owns them, and it's not really fair for the farmers, so the government gave the land back to the farmers. And in here, it is a really a little bit, this one as well. I forgot this one. Tell us about this one, Dreaming.
This one is, it recreates the Xinjiang County of Henan province. It's a cradle of people's commune. It is actually an agricultural cooperation organization, and in it people work together, they ate together, they earn the same money.
I remember. So after a few years, people started like a co-op, and they earn the same money. But also, it doesn't sound very fair, because what if this person is more able and work more, but this person has a weaker body, or maybe a little bit unable to work? And I think in here it's a little bit dark, but it tells a very important story in the history of Chinese agriculture development. Tell us about this.
It's a reform of the people's commune. These 18 people, they abolished that people's commune system, and they decided to start a new working principle, means distribution according to one's work.
So now, and you can see the stamps,
footprints,
fingerprints right
fingerprints
here. Sorry, it's okay. Will be even bigger than this. Fingerprints right here. Farmers even more to say about this topic.
In 2006, China Agriculture abolished the agricultural tax, and the scene shows us a man named Wang Sanyi. He made a it is happiness
Yes.
or saying goodbye.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our stream brought to you by China Media Group. We are very sorry about the technical issues. This is a gigantic museum and we want to show you all the things that we can offer. And before, if you remember, we were talking about land tax and land reform, and we were talking about a very cool looking tea steaming machine that we have learned from Japan. All of these amazing farm machines or farming tools that are now in use in China. I can see already on top there's a drone that is being used to spray pesticide and also to do seeding in China. And I've actually visited a farm in northeastern China where I saw in real eyes how drone was doing farming. And Dreaming, could you please also pick some farm tools or machines that you want to introduce to us?
This one is a multifunctional car, and it can adapt to different terrains.
Yes.
And do undertake different kinds of work.
This is almost like a four-wheel drive.
Yes.
A four-wheel drive that is being tooled for farming. So good to see. Is there anything else that?
That plane. It is a model made on a scale of 1:5, and it was used in 1983, and from it we can see that plane also used to spray pesticide, but it needs pilot.
So before we need to use a pilot, you can see the shadow or the reflection of the plane on the backdrop, and it really looks like a plane is doing the seeding, but with a man pilot. But nowadays you can use a drone to do it as well. So many of advanced farm machines, and you really can see the differences between back thousands of years ago to now, telling you about, in real contrast, the development of the machinery in China's agriculture. So, and I want to see, this is my little friend.
It's a yellow cute car.
Yeah, very cute. This is like a bumblebee. Tell us about the car driving.
It's a car used for spraying pesticides to fruit trees. And nowadays, fruit trees are cultivated more shorter.
Shorter. Amazing. I really love the color. And
you can see the.
Yes. So let's go and have a look at the back.
These are some These are some sprinkler. In the back, and they can spray pesticides evenly and atomically.
Ooh, so good to know. So nowadays, China is doing a lot of reform in making the agriculture also modernize it and make science and technology development a huge interest and priority in its agriculture. So, guys, now all of the museum inside the indoor area is finished, and I had some food for us to go and enjoy in the outside of the museum. Follow me. Guys, the Agriculture Museum does not only have displays and exhibition halls, it also has a very nice outdoor area which we can't wait to go and have a picnic, because we were talking about the differences in China, the differences in the north and south. In the north part of China, we grow buckwheat, a lot of buckwheat or wheat.
Yes, weather relatively dry and cold.
That's right. The weather is relatively dry and cold. And in the southern part of China, it's
warm and wet.
Warm and wet. So we have rice or millets.
Millets are in
I
North
forgot.
China.
North China. I just got too excited about millets. And actually, Dreamy and I are from the same hometown, home province, Jiangsu.
Yeah.
It just sort of like sits in between north and south of China. So both of us, we are very lucky to be able to try from our childhood, enjoying both the good parts of south and northern China. So you can see behind is a really large lake with a lot of ducks. If we can go a little bit more can we go? Oh, yay! So let's go beside the lake where we can finish today's live stream. And I want to, Dreaming, could you please hold it for me?
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow!
So, I want to show you guys that you were talking about millet, and this is a millet crackers that I prepared for you guys. Let's have a quick.
Let me help you.
Thank you. Yay! So millet, there you go.
Thank you.
Millet crackers. And let me offer it to Leah. Leah. And also in China, black rice is from North or South China.
Rice?
Black rice. I think I've seen before in the
paddy
South.
Rice. Black rice is a kind of paddy rice.
So this is black rice congee that I have bought from the supermarket, just to want to show you that all of the agriculture advances, all of the agriculture development has gone into our everyday food. And ta-da!
What's that?
青稞饼.
Oh, Highland barley.
Yes, Highland barley cake that I have bought from a restaurant yesterday. And also, maybe a lot of you guys know about this, the 金榜花卷 that you can eat in China as well. So besides this beautiful lake with the actual farm products in hand, I want to say a big thank you first of all to Dreaming. Thank you so much. I have a really good dream tonight after seeing you. And I want to say a big thank you to the China Agriculture Museum and to you guys who have been so open-minded and learning about China's agriculture history and development through the whole live stream. And in conclusion, I would really like to 谢谢，我们一人拿一个。好 I would really like to say that I'm really encouraged by the technology advances that will be put in the next 5 years plan in China, and I look forward to more interesting contents in agriculture in China. So here is Lucy from the China Media Group. This is Streaming from Agriculture Museum. We're saying bye to you in Beijing. Bye bye.
See you.